Howard George Stirrup is a globe skeptic who lives in Benidorm. You may remember him from the 3 DIY Flat Earth experiments video from a couple of years ago.
My favourite of all is to get 2 glasses of water and place one under the moonlight and one in shade of the moonlight. Leave them for about 30 minutes, and with a thermostat for food, you can go and check for yourselves. I'm not going to make a 30-minute video.
Whoa. You mean to tell me you've conducted this experiment inside? Inside. He's deleted that original video now. I wonder why. Well, great news. He's started a new series called Global Skepticism, and we're going to review it. Get ready. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, a quick shout out to the podcast channel. Last week, Katz and I interviewed Robin Ince from the Infinite Monkey Cage podcast, and it was brilliant. I'll leave the link in the description to that. Please do go and subscribe. There are lots of clips on there. So yes, Howard George Stirrup is back, and he is back with a vengeance. He's trying to make a difference with his new series Global Skepticism, and we start with his opinion on Venus and star trails. Away we go.
After the sunset, you can see Venus in the blue sky when the sun's setting behind it, and it's very clearly bright and it's flickering like the stars.
Okay, yes, the sun is sometimes setting behind Venus, but because of how bright Venus is and how far away it is, and the fact that our eyes can't resolve it, it still appears as a bright star to us. However, if we look at Venus through a telescope, then we actually see that it's usually in a phase and has phases similar to the moon. Excellent evidence for the heliocentric model, I might add.
I recommend everyone make that observation instead of laughing at me about it, because I don't see how a rock could reflect sun when the sun's behind it and how it could be so bright.
Whilst Venus is a rock, as Howard says, it's continually covered by a thick, dense atmosphere of carbon dioxide, nitrogen and sulfur dioxide. It is this atmosphere which reflects the sun's light.
And plus, neither the sun nor the moon are flickering like we see the stars flickering. So yeah, please do check out Venus just after the sunset.
That's MC Toon, by the way. Looks like this clip was lifted from his debate with Howard. The flickering is a funny one. I would suggest that this is down to the poor focus in the clip that Howard is using here from his camera. Planets don't usually flicker unless maybe when they are right near close to the horizon and their light is having to travel through more atmosphere.
If you're in the UK or in Spain like I am, it's a very easy observation just after sunset, 20 minutes. I'm not sure about the States. I'm not sure about the States.
Mr. MacNeil has identified that you changed the subject very quickly.
Look at Howard's overlay here. It's literally debunking him as he talks. There is a phase on Venus, something which actually happens. Dear, oh dear, Howard.
I'm not changing. I just want to get these things in. I want to make most of my time here.
Okay.
And also star trails. Please check out how the Big Dipper goes round different seasons. It's in different places.
Is it? It's in different places at different times in the night, but that, of course, is because we're rotating.
Why is it that stars travel the same exact path? Like I say, the Big Dipper, it will go to the exact same path, no matter what time of year.
Because our North Pole lines up with Polaris, and as we rotate, all the stars around Polaris appear to rotate as well. It's not hard.
Just at a different hour. You'd see the same stars like Orion, and you still see Orion passing in the same part of the sky, no matter what time of year.
Well, actually, we don't see the Orion constellation between about April and November here in the UK, and that is entirely because of the tilt of the Earth. As the Orion constellation is normally actually there, however, during the summer, it's too bright to see it.
So no matter what star you look at, no matter how far out you go south, you will see that they still cross the exact same path in the sky, no matter what time of year, no matter what year.
Yes, because we're rotating around a set point. Why would it change?
They're just crossing the same path at a different time. Yet supposedly we're on a completely another side of the sun.
Yes.
You would expect there to be some kind of parallax. So my point is, he still crosses the same path in the sky, no matter what time of year he is. Yes, you'll see him early in the morning or late at night or in the middle of the night, depending what time of year it is. But he still crosses the same path in the sky.
This is an awful argument because, of course, most stars that we see here in the Northern Hemisphere are actually above us. That means our point in orbit around the sun is actually irrelevant.
I don't know how that doesn't match the globe. That perfectly matches.
Indeed, MC Toon.
Well, look into it, bro. Look into it, because you've got your little globe model there. It's all out of scale, like you said. We'll keep playing with your globe, and maybe it'll make sense that it doesn't make sense.
Except it makes perfect sense. Every time. Oh, I hate it when creators just put a fancy clip at the end of their video. So this claim, an out of focus star. Howard is famous for it.
I'm Howard George Stirrup. Here we've got a very simple experiment that you can make for yourself that proves that the stars are not what we've been taught.
Hang on. Right. Howard's got a few continuity issues there, but we'll let him off. After all this time and he still can't focus a camera. As you can see, out of focus. Perfect evidence that we rotate. And we get this clip again. A lot of people wanted me to point out last time that this isn't flat Earth made, this clip. It's a generalisation of how the solar system moves through space, just not a great one. Anyway, I'm bored of this one. Let's move on to Howard's next global skepticism video, which is about satellites in space. Here we go.
Supposedly we're getting a real photo of the whole of Earth every 10 minutes. Google image United Kingdom, none of them match. They look similar, but they're all different colours. Some of them are slightly different shapes, which means that most of them, if not all of them, are fake.
Different satellites use different cameras, and even the same satellite may not take the same picture of something twice. The photo could have been taken with many different settings, and of course it could have been a different time of year.
It shouldn't be that difficult to backdate and have a look at the country 10 years before, 20 years before, to compare. We
Certainly.
all see the nighttime effect that they claim all the streetlights are doing from outer space. You can see all this orange light in the capitals and the cities. So surely we would see a massive difference over the last 50 years in some countries where the cities have built up. We should see an easy comparison of nighttime pictures.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked, Howard. Take a look at this. This is Shanghai in China from 2013 to 2018. Just a 5-year difference and quite a change.
Can you see the straight line on the right of the UK where the blue sea becomes dirty sea?
Dirty sea. Lol. This is him debating MC Toon again.
Yeah. So, all right.
So let's zoom out. Ooh.
Okay.
Something doesn't look right there, does it, Michael?
Yeah, there's a big giant no clouds on the map.
What are we looking at there, Michael? You've zoomed out and it's lovely.
Get to your point here.
Clearly Howard doesn't understand how Google Earth works. It shows you a lot of satellite images all stitched together, showing you as much as it possibly can of the globe. And Google Earth virtually removes any clouds so you can actually see what you're looking at.
No, I'm asking, what are we looking at?
I don't know.
We know high altitude drones and aircrafts can take many photos for Google Maps.
But that fact doesn't disprove the existence of satellites, does it?
So it's very likely that you could be showing me an image that's been stitched together from many high altitude photos.
Yeah. So, what's the issue with that?
Or could it be computer generated imagery completely?
No.
This is a photograph taken
Really?
on film, 4-inch wide film.
Could it be a real photograph of a computer generated image?
What? Really?
In 1972?
Exactly, MC Toon. No one is producing a CGI globe in 1972 when this was the Scorpion King in 2002.
No.
I don't know.
I
Don't
do.
they say them? Don't they
I
say?
do know.
No! Please stop claiming to know things. You believe, Michael. You believe. You don't know. You weren't there, Michael. So you believe. Admit it.
You have to be there for everything.
How about you Google the difference between primary information and secondary information right now?
Okay, but that's not science.
So secondary information is as strong as primary information. Is that what you're trying to tell me in science?
No,
In
I'm
science,
trying
if
to
I've
not.
got primary.
I'm trying to not answer that at all because I have
I
things
know,
that I need to do.
Look at his little face, thinking he's got one over on MC Toon. Dear oh dear, Howard. Your global skepticism isn't really cutting it, is it? And I've heard you say many times that you are not a flat earther. Well, if that's the case, then why were you wearing this t-shirt in the 3 DIY experiments video 2 years ago?
Hi, I'm Howard George Stirrup. I'd like to show you how easy you can make an experiment to prove that the moonlight is not a reflection of the sun.
We'll leave Howard the Flat Earther there for now, but rest assured we'll be keeping an eye on his new series for possible future episodes. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for joining today and watching. It really is appreciated. It truly is. If you enjoyed it, then please do subscribe to the channel and drop a like on the video as well if you're feeling generous, please. I have been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great weekend and I'll see you all on Tuesday for the return of the mud floods. See you then.